The year 2000.
Greatest year of all time.
Greatest year of all time.
History of the world.
Because these two pretty motherfuckers were born.
If you want to know a bit more about us, today's your chance in our choice and selection of movies that we love, because we're going to do one, what is it? Favourite movie every year we've been alive.
For every year we've been alive. Shout out, I think, Sean Chandler. I stole this idea from him.
Yeah. What can you do?
Pretty much every idea on YouTube's been done.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we were born in 2000, so from 2000 to 2021.
Oh, I didn't do 2021.
I did 2021, because I'm alive this year.
Yeah, but the year's not over.
Yeah, but we're filming it now, so we might do an updated list. But we're going to go through. We're starting in the year 2000. Do you want to kick us off?
Yeah, so my first one...
Oh, just by the way, we haven't seen each other's list yet, so it's
haven't seen each other's list, and
but we'll probably have a few of the same.
We have the same book as well, and that's not intentional at all.
No, do we? No, we don't. No, it's different.
Is it?
Yeah, yours is a lot darker than mine.
Oh,
well.
And it's...
the same kind of book.
Yeah. Okay. My movie for the year 2000 is Unbreakable, starring Bruce Willis and Samuel L. Jackson.
Wow.
I think this is maybe the most underrated superhero movie ever made, mostly because most people don't even think of it when considering superhero movies. I think mainly due to just it came out before...
Marvel.
Yeah, well, it was around the same time as X-Men and stuff, but like before the real rise of superhero movies. I think if this came out today, it would do so well. Did pretty well at the time, coming off the back of The Sixth Sense, which M. Night Shyamalan also directed, which was one of the biggest movies ever. And yeah, this is just like a simplistic superhero movie. It's this guy who works as a security guard, and then is in a train crash and has not taken any damage whatsoever, and just finds out, oh yeah, I've had superpowers my whole life and haven't even realised, pretty much. And just the way this movie is directed and shot is just, I don't know how Shyamalan fell off so hard, because
I was going to say, most disappointing trilogy ending of all time.
Yeah. Because obviously this movie led on to Split, which the twist ending of that was the sequel to this movie, and most people, I think, didn't even know probably of this movie that much until Split, and then Glass was just
trash.
I hated it. Most disappointing thing I've ever seen, and just the way this movie is directed, the way that the conversations are just framed and shot, there's a lot of one takes and a lot of visual storytelling to do with how they build the characters, and just makes everything interesting the whole time you're watching it, and it has one of my favourite scores to a movie. So yeah,
I won't be going into as much depth with my movie, but my favourite movie for the year 2000 was Chicken Run.
I haven't seen Chicken Run for is that old?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought they came out at least mid-2000s.
So I'm pretty sure it's made by the same people as Wallace and Gromit and stuff like that. Yeah. But it's just a good fun family movie. Just it's just a childhood. I'm pretty sure we used to have it on tape. It's just a good movie. I really don't have much to say about it, just because it's just...
I watched a lot in my childhood, but I haven't watched it in the longest time.
Yeah, exactly.
It's when the nut falls on his head, eh? Is that what it is?
Yeah, and I think the plot behind it's kind of like they have to escape, and...
Yeah.
Chicken Run. It's...
Oh, wait, no, I was thinking of Chicken Little.
No, no, the nut falls on his head, and he thinks it's the buddy.
I was so confused.
No.
I was thinking of that... And that's why I was like, is that old?
Definitely not.
No,
but yeah.
Chicken Run. I love Chicken Run, yeah.
Chicken Run, yeah. That's my movie. Who knows? You're a fucking plonker.
Jesus.
But yeah. Are we going to go one for one, or just like...
Yeah, let's go one for one.
Rightio.
My movie for 2001. The Fellowship of the Ring.
We have the same for this one.
No competition here whatsoever. This is my favourite of the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
I actually had 2 honourable mentions, but I'll discuss them afterwards.
This was I got a few notes here. It's hard to hold a mic and do this at the same time. I'll keep my list hidden from you. The second highest grossing movie of the year.
What was the first?
Harry Potter and the Prisoner. No, what the fuck is the first one? Philosopher's Stone. Philosopher's Stone. Which was one of my honourable mentions because I love Harry Potter, but Fellowship of the Ring is just It's so good.
It's just on another level. The whole Lord of the Rings trilogy
Obviously.
is...
Yeah, you can kind of almost view the trilogy as one fucking
movie.
field trip of a movie.
Yeah.
But Fellowship of the Ring's always been my favourite. Just one of the best openings I've ever seen in my life to a film.
You fiend the character development in this, don't you?
Yeah. Frodo is a little man who has a big task ahead of him. And just everything about this movie, like, I don't even know what to say because it's so well known and everything, but the visuals and everything, just the practical effects, mate, probably the best score of all time, honestly. Like,
It's up there.
just there's such a dynamic variety of scores, from like the action scenes to the Shire music. Like, everything has its own score, which is so iconic.
Yeah.
And what else can you say?
Casting perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I kind of view the Lord of the Rings trilogy as like one movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, should we... honourable mentions, what did you have?
I think I just had Harry Potter.
I had not another teen movie.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good one.
And Monsters, Inc.
Yeah, Monsters, Inc. There's a lot of Pixar movies throughout the years which are just...
Yeah, a lot of them are honourable mentions, except for like a few of them.
Yeah. But yeah. I would also agree with those as honourable mentions.
And yeah, my movie for that year was
Fellowship.
Anything
else to contribute to it?
No, I just think it is like a really good movie.
Yeah.
No, 2002, it's stacked. I already know...
Oh, so you're going for this one?
Oh, no, I'm just checking my list.
No, you are going though.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Are we going back and forth?
Yeah, no, we'll go back and forth. We'll go back and forth.
Have we done it correctly?
No, not really. But 2002...
Oh, wait. No, yeah.
I have a whole lot of honourable mentions, but my movie of the year was Star Wars: Attack of the Clones.
Okay.
I know what yours will probably be.
Do you want me to say it now?
Yeah, say it now.
Mine is Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets.
Yes. Star Wars, it's just a fun movie. It just has the most rewatchability for me. It's just kind of a big part of my life, and I can just always go back and rewatch Attack of the Clones. Like, is it a shitty movie? Like, not the best movie?
I disagree with Attack of the Clones. Probably definitely the most out of the prequel trilogy. And obviously I'm such a big fan of Harry Potter, I think more than you by...
Yeah, I don't have any Harry Potters in mine. Because I didn't even put them in the honourable mentions because I know you're going to talk about them all.
Yeah. Chamber of Secrets, not one of my... I don't know. I like this movie a lot. Might have been my favourite as a kid, but as I grown older, not as much, but I still really love it.
That's kind of my thing with Star Wars. Like, it's not the best movie, even out of a lot of them, but for the year, it's just... I enjoy it the most.
And then, so last year, the Harry Potter was the highest grossing, and Lord of the Rings was second, and this year it actually swapped, and Two Towers was the second highest.
We might as well jump
Harry
into
Potter
the honourable mentions. Spider-Man came out in 2002.
Spider-Man was definitely
that was probably
so close to getting in there.
Lord of the Rings, Two Towers, like we just mentioned. Scooby-Doo.
Yeah. Childhood.
Yeah. 8 Mile.
Yeah. Eminem.
Austin Powers, Gold Member.
That's my favourite Austin Powers.
Yeah, with Beyonce. Ice Age as well.
Yeah.
And Lilo and Stitch.
I don't have the biggest personal connection to Lilo and Stitch.
Well, I'm part Hawaiian, so I kind of, it should be expected.
What are you, Dwayne?
No, I'm actually quarter Jamaican.
Yeah. Spider-Man was so close, honestly.
It was the swap out.
It was just Harry Potter, I don't know. It is my life.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I fully expected that from you.
Am I starting for the next one?
Yeah, your turn for 2003.
2003.
We might have the same.
I don't know if we will, because I went a bit of a... I actually don't think we will have the same, because I think I know what yours will be. I have X-Men 2 as my favourite movie of 2002. That was my
honourable mention.
Yeah. And I'm guessing you have Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings, Return of the King.
I think Return of the King is easily the best movie of the year by far. Obviously, won the most Oscars in history. But X-Men 2 has always been just one of my favourite Marvel movies my entire life. I think just a lot of the action scenes in it are so memorable from the start when Nightcrawler's like breaking into the White House, and then you've got Wolverine just absolutely tearing through people in the mansion, and just I just love X-Men 2. I think it doesn't get talked about enough. I don't have personally as much of a connection with the original X-Men as I probably should. I don't even really with any X-Men movies apart from this one. Yeah. Just this movie, it's taken my life to a whole new level, and the score, I don't know, just the score was good. Yeah, I mean, like we said, I had Lord of the Rings, Return of the King. What can you say? I mean,
It's just
same shit as Fellowship of the Ring, pretty much.
Yeah. And that's kind of why I didn't have Two Towers for 2002, just so I could split it up.
Yeah.
And because they are, like we said, they are pretty much one movie.
Yeah.
But it's just a great movie. Great action, great ending. And
great 1,000 endings. I think just the thing was that Return of the King's so long, and it's hard to, you have to have so much time to watch the whole thing.
Yeah, it is like a movie marathon kind of thing.
That's why I've watched X-Men 2 so many times, and Return of the King, I love it, and I think it's perfect, but it's just long.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, that's fair enough. Honourable mentions, I had X-Men 2.
Yeah.
The Room came out in 2003.
That is the greatest movie of all time, not just 2003.
School of Rock.
Yeah.
And Finding Nemo.
Pirates of the Caribbean?
Nah, not a big Pirates of the Caribbean man.
I like the first one, but
just apart from the game, I never got into it.
Yeah, I like the first one.
2004, I know we have the same one.
No, you don't.
You don't have Spider-Man 2?
No, I have Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban.
Whoa.
And this was the hardest year. If you go and watch our best year movies...
Did we do 2004?
Yeah, we did do 2004 because there was so many of them. And this was the hardest one for me to choose, but I
didn't even have any honourable mentions for 2004.
Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban might be my favourite movie of all time. Best Harry Potter movie, I think, by far... It's when it started getting really serious and just because Sirius Black was in it, but just a little joke there. This is made way more like a film, I reckon, as opposed to the other movies, which are like that. It's still got obviously all the fantasy elements, but just the way it's directed and shot is just on another level. Brings a lot of new things into it, like the Marauders map. And the score's a bit different than all the other movies, which I really like, and was Oscar nominated as well. So.
I do agree that this is, like, as much as I'm not much of a Harry Potter fan, this is definitely the best one.
Prisoner of Azkaban, just, I don't know.
It just hits different.
It is easily one of my favourite movies of all time. So Spider-Man 2, and it was the biggest toss-up between those two movies. I love both of them. I think they're both just perfection, but I just... Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I had Spider-Man 2. It is perfect.
Spider-Man 2, probably top 5 superhero movies, if not top 3 of all time.
The top 3 is just interchangeable. That's why I wouldn't say it's like the best, just because you could swap it around depending on how you're feeling.
Just everything about Spider-Man 2 like brings a whole new level to the character of just fucking him over to the point you could not have more sympathy for anybody in history.
Yeah.
And then just the action scenes, like the train at the end, the villain.
Joey Diaz.
Yeah, everything about Spider-Man 2. I had Shrek 2 as an honourable mention.
Yeah.
One of my favourite animated movies of all time, and also The Incredibles, which is my favourite animated movie of all time.
Yeah. I didn't know. I didn't have... There were lots of movies for this year, but I just thought Spider-Man 2 was definitely a standout.
There were so many, but Harry Potter for me, and then, yeah, like I said, I love those ones I just mentioned as well. Just borderline less than Harry Potter, but they're all just so great. What a year.
Yeah, 2005. I didn't actually have one.
Oh, you couldn't choose one?
No, I had 3.
Okay, but you just couldn't choose one?
No.
Okay.
I had Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah.
Walk the Line.
Yeah.
And 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Yeah. I had one. I had Batman Begins. Batman
Begins was my honourable mention.
Yeah.
But yeah, those 3, I just couldn't decide. I could easily go rewatch all of them. Probably rewatchability less, like the one with the least amount is Walk the Line.
Yeah.
Just because you do, once you find out what happens, but it's just too good of a movie not to put on the list. Revenge of the Sith, childhood, memories, quotes,
honestly, like,
memes.
Maybe my favourite... I don't know. There's something about Revenge of the Sith, like the action and everything, and the memes. It all kind of makes it the most entertaining Star Wars movie. Almost.
It is hands down the most entertaining. And the 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Probably my favourite comedy.
Yeah,
maybe not my favourite, but I love it.
It's up there. Steve Carell just perfect.
Yeah, I had Batman Begins, obviously bringing like the reboot to Batman because ruined with Batman and Robin.
Yep.
What can you say? Just watched it recently, still holds up so good, and Bale, the casting, the direct, just everything about Batman Begins was executed amazingly, and yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it was in my honourable mentions, so it is a great movie. Liam Neeson in it. Can't go wrong.
Freeman, Kane, just the list goes on.
Casting is incredible. 2006, pretty shit year.
Yeah, 2006 was a bit weak, but my favourite movie was Casino Royale, which I think is the best James Bond movie and one of the best action movies ever made.
Wow.
What did you have?
I had Cars.
That's my least favourite. I actually know. Yeah, you know what? I rewatched Cars 2. I watched Cars recently, not Cars 2, and I enjoyed it.
But I also had This Is England. It's a movie that I doubt you'd have seen.
No.
But it just kind of, it appeals to me because of the whole, like, I want to live in England and stuff like that. But basically that's just about a little, I'm not even sure when it's based, but it's about, like, skinheads and racism and, like, this little, like, 10-year-old kid whose father is, like, off in a war or dead or something.
Yeah.
And he kind of becomes involved with the skinheads, and it's a real good movie. It has lots of sequels, and the casting and performances, it's just really good in my opinion.
Yeah, Casino Royale I think just brings such a grittiness to James Bond which wasn't there before. Straight up murdering people and just some of the most memorable action scenes I think ever, with the chase scene at the start of the movie through all the construction and throughout whatever that country is against that.
Pakistan.
Yeah, probably. And then the whole poker game and everything, and then just this I don't know. This movie's so good.
Yeah,
the action.
I do enjoy Casino Royale, but I wouldn't have put it.
Definitely some of the best action scenes probably ever made. But yeah,
the James Bond movies are good.
Huh?
James Bond movies are good,
Yeah.
except for
I just think Casino Royale was just so.
I think it was. What was the one after Skyfall?
Spectre. Yeah, that was garbage.
Maybe it was. Yeah, I think I went and saw it at the movies, and it went for like 5 million years.
I didn't
like
like.
Me and Millsy went and saw it.
A lot of people would Skyfall as their
I didn't
favorite.
mind Skyfall.
I definitely didn't like it as much as most people, but Casino Royale. Fucking, I don't know. When things are so good, it's almost hard to even know what to say because you're just overwhelmed by awesomeness.
Some of these movies didn't realise actually came out in the years they came out. Like, I thought Casino Royale was like 2008.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you know, that's 2006. 2007, what did you have?
I had No Country for Old Men starring Josh Brolin, Javier Bardem and Tommy Lee Jones.
I've never seen it.
I recommend you to go watch this movie instantly and be blown away. It's about this guy Josh Brolin who's out hunting one day and he comes across this bag full of money, which is these gangs have been killed in a shootout and there was no one left standing. So he takes it, but then it had this tracker inside it, and there's this hitman played by Javier Bardem who's after him throughout the whole movie, and just probably the best tension building scenes I've ever seen in a movie. And Javier Bardem, one of the best performances probably ever. And this movie won Oscars for director, picture, supporting, and just fucking... It is a perfect movie, I think.
I have heard lots about it, but I've just never taken the time to go watch it.
I remember just being like, yeah, what's this title? No Country for Old Men. It's going to be like some old cowboy movie. And I was absolutely blown away. It is, yeah, like I said, I think it's perfect and one of the best movies ever made.
Yeah. Mine was Spider-Man 3.
Yeah.
Probably the weakest out of all the Spider-Man movies.
Out
of the original trilogy.
3.
Oh yeah, I did as well, but I probably...
Even the weakest,
Yeah.
I think overhated though.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Topher.
Yeah, not the best choice.
No.
By any means. But I still can watch Spider-Man 3 and have such a good time with it.
You can do that with any of the Spider-Man, but it's I can't even think of what else. I didn't have any other honourable mentions.
I just think it's overhated.
Yeah.
I didn't have any honourable mentions as well.
But yeah, 2008.
I had...
What couldn't,
everyone
everything.
has this movie. It's their number one. Do you?
No.
Do you not?
No.
Go say yours first.
No, you say yours first.
One is The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Is that not yours?
No, it's not.
What's yours?
Don't go.
Oh my god, how
Mamma Mia.
could I fucking forget?
My favourite movie is of all time is
forget?
pretty much Mamma Mia.
Yeah.
But
obviously the same caliber of film.
Go watch our 2008 movie
Yeah.
tier list, just because we're not going to be able to talk, or not tier list, but review of the year.
Just when we talked, yeah. So if we have gone over,
It's probably one of the favourite videos we've ever done.
yeah. Dark Knight. Not saying anything because I don't need to.
Yeah. If Mamma Mia didn't exist, then
Yeah.
it's obviously
the best movie of all time.
yeah.
Up there with The Room.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm not saying anything about Dark Knight.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. And I won't say anything about Mamma Mia.
Yeah. I'll go for 2009. 2009. This
was a weak year,
This
I
might be a
felt.
controversial pick. I don't think anyone would... Well, maybe not anyone, but me. I have Watchmen, which I think is one of the most underrated superhero movies ever.
Mm-hmm.
And one of my favourite films directed by Zack Snyder. I think just from a visual standpoint, this movie is just incredible to look at. And I don't know, something about Watchmen has just always resonated with me. It's R-rated.
It's just such a different view of like superheroes.
Yeah, exactly. Which is it's so refreshing, I think, to watch. And I also had honourable mention in Glorious Bastards, directed by Quentin Tarantino, which is a phenomenal film. The performances and everything, just the rewriting of history it does, it's so great. But I don't know. Just feeling a bit of Watchmen.
Yeah, I don't know if you'd guess mine, but I had Fantastic Mr. Fox.
I've only seen that once.
I've seen it a few times, and it's just a perfect movie.
Clooney.
Casting, just the story behind
just
it.
the animation style I've never been the biggest fan of.
I love it, eh?
Yeah.
Honestly, it's another movie that you can't say much about because you just have to watch it.
Yeah. So the stop motion kind of animation,
Yeah, it is. It's full like stop motion, like kind of clay stuff as well.
Might have to rewatch it actually.
Oh, I would recommend
That's on Netflix.
2010. I think we might have the same. Toy Story 3.
Yep. No, yeah. Toy Story 3, biggest movie of the year.
Best movie
My
of the
heart
year.
hasn't recovered.
No.
Ever since they went into a furnace and were given away. Yeah, Toy Story 3, one of the best animated movies, obviously, of all time.
I think it's probably like top 3.
Yeah, this is probably my second. Incredibles for me is just on another level. But Toy Story 3, probably the most emotional movie I've ever seen in my life.
Hands down.
This was actually nominated for Best Picture, which is a rarity for animation
Was it the first
films.
animation to be nominated?
I think... I don't think the first, but it's definitely like it's just such a landmark for an animated film to be nominated, and that just shows how good it actually was.
Just that you could send anyone, you could send any age bracket to watch this movie, and they'd feel it on some level.
I wish I'd been like my age now watching it for the first time though, because I think I was like 9 probably when it came out.
Yeah,
I can't even remember, but I don't know.
I think it came out in like September of 2010.
So maybe 10 just.
Yeah.
But Toy Story 3.
Most emotional movie of all
And
time.
4 can fuck off.
I don't even consider it a movie.
No, not really. Most overhyped and just, I don't know.
It's just not needed. A lot of people don't even consider it a part of the Toy Story franchise.
No.
Just because it feels like one of those holiday specials.
Yeah.
Except you give the main fucking character away. Why?
And then the rest of them are barely even in the movie.
Exactly.
I hated Toy Story 4. 3 was so good.
Yep. 2011. The year I left New Zealand.
2011. I've gone for a bit of a different flavour from my previous ones before. My favourite movie of 2011 was Crazy Stupid Love, starring Steve Carell.
I must have skipped over that.
Ryan Gosling. Is one of my favourite movies of all time. It's my favourite romantic comedy of all time. Steve Carell's recently divorced. Gosling is just Ryan Gosling and making him a playboy, basically. And I loved this film.
I had Captain America, but I didn't even know. It must have just not been on the list I looked at.
Research.
Because I didn't even... I was just on IMDb. I must have literally just skipped over
some
it.
of them, because I was going through certain sites and then I'd be like, oh yeah, and then I'd go to another one and then it would be movies that weren't included, so that's why I was doing a bit more deep diving, but yeah.
Yeah, no, okay, yeah, Crazy Stupid Love is mine as well.
Yeah.
The scene where it's like where all 4 of them come together and it's Carell
it's like a plot
why are
twist
you
as
here?
well.
Yeah, I know. And then Jessica comes over and her dad comes over and punches Carell and he's like, he didn't even know that I'm in love with him. He didn't know about the naked photos and
then Kevin Bacon, are you David Lindhagen?
Yeah, and
puts
then
the ring on or whatever, just punches him. Fuck, such a great movie.
And then Steve Carell's just brilliant. Ryan Gosling is brilliant, and kind of the redemption arc between all of them, like Gosling or Jacob, he stops becoming a fuckboy.
Yeah.
Carell jumps out of a car at the start of the movie.
Stop talking.
And then he fucks the teacher and meets her at the parent teacher.
There's a lot of like twists and turns
have we
throughout
met
this movie.
before?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Asshole.
Yeah, no. It's just
fucking great film, honestly.
And then the son gets the nudes at the end, and
Yeah.
fuck yeah, great movie.
Honorable mentions: I had Captain America: The First Avenger, and also Warrior, starring Tom Hardy. MMA.
Yeah.
It's like the only MMA movie I think. Like, it's actually good. That I can think
Here Comes the Boom.
Speaking of 2000, what year did that come out? I think it was 2012.
Probably.
Here Comes the Boom. No.
Yeah.
No.
2012. What'd you have? I know we didn't have the same one.
I had Django Unchained.
Okay.
What'd you have?
I had Silver Linings Playbook.
Yep.
One of the best movies I've ever seen.
I also once remember enjoying it, thinking the acting was really great, and the screenplay.
Yeah.
Just like just everything.
Yeah.
I mean, I won't talk about your movie for you. You can talk about it.
No,
That's
it's
just my
discussion.
brief thoughts on the movie.
But yeah, do you want to go first about Django? Or?
Django Unchained, Tarantino, maybe my favourite movie of his, set in the, 1850s.
Slavery years.
Slavery. Jamie Foxx plays Django, who's recruited by King Schultz, who is a bounty hunter, and Django's like the only person who knows where these certain targets are that he has to kill. And they join together and just sort of taking people out, and just probably one of the best screenplays of all time. Like, not because of the racism, obviously, but I don't know, just the interactions between some people in this movie are so funny, and even just like the minor characters, I feel like in every Tarantino movie just have such like they've all got life to them, even though they're on screen for like such a brief time.
DiCaprio
in this movie
says the N-word lots.
Yeah, but maybe his best performance, honestly. Like, he's just this wealthy slave owner who
smashes the hand and rubs the blood all over the girl's face.
They need to break into his house, and just one of the best shootouts of all time at the end of the movie as well. It's just such a good. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. I've watched it so many times. Yeah.
Silver Linings Playbook. We pretty much said that everything needs to be said about that.
Cooper.
Screencasting. Screenplay, the casting.
De Niro.
Yeah. It's just a really good movie. Great redemption at the end, and the chase down at the end.
What actually happens in the movie?
So, Cooper...
He's got autism or something.
He has something, but I think he beats the shit out... His wife's cheating on him. He beats the shit out of the lover, like the estranged lover. Goes to like a mental hospital, comes back... has a friend, goes out to dinner with them and the other person that's there.
Yeah.
Like, this is the sister-in-law of the couple, and it's Jennifer Lawrence. Her husband died, and she's become just a manic slut, fucking everybody that walks. And she knows Cooper's ex-wife, who he wants to get back in contact with. And she's like, look, I'll get in contact with her if you help me with this dance contest.
Yeah, I remember the dancing.
And then they do that, and then she starts to fall for him, he starts to fall for her, but he's still trying to get in contact with the ex-wife. And then at the end, they win the dance contest. Well, they don't win it, but they do what they need to do in the dance contest. And then he's giving these letters to Jennifer to pass on to the ex-wife.
Yeah.
And she, leaves because she is in love with him. And he chases after her, and he gives her the last letter, and she's like, why the fuck would you give me the last letter? And she opens it, and she's like, dear, whatever her name is. And it's a letter to her about how he loves her, and...
Where's the plastic bag?
What, for the tears?
Huh?
For the tears.
For the running? Remember when doesn't he run with like a
I thought you meant where is the... okay, I get you now. But I thought you meant where is the plastic bag?
No, he wears a plastic bag or a trash bag or something. Yeah.
Yeah. The fucking... I would have said rubbish bag.
Whatever it is.
But yeah, 2013. I know we didn't have the same for this one.
Tell me.
Secret Life of Walter Mitty.
I've never seen that film.
It's so good. It is so good.
I had Prisoners starring Hugh Jackman and Jake Gyllenhaal. Tell me about your movie. Tell me about Ben. I know it's Ben Stiller.
Yeah, so basically Ben Stiller plays this guy that works for this newspaper company, and they're getting bought out, and they're doing one final big issue, and he gets given this film piece, but it's not actually there, so he has to go on this massive journey around the world. He goes to Greenland and shit like that to find this photographer that sent it to him. And I'm pretty sure it turns out he has it the whole time.
Yeah.
But it's basically just a journey, a movie about self-discovery, and fuck it, just do what you want, but if you've got aspirations and dreams, do them, because why not?
Was it directed by Ben Stiller as well?
I'm not sure.
Bit of a different tone from Django, eh?
Yeah. But I just thought it's a really good movie. Just the message behind it.
Prisoners with Gyllenhaal and Hugh Jackman, obviously one of my favourite movies of all time, but I genuinely think this is like one of the best movies I've ever seen. Hugh Jackman's daughter gets abducted and Gyllenhaal is the detective going out to find her and who did it, but Hugh kind of takes it into his own hands by abducting this guy himself and kind of torturing him, believing that
Smashes the sink.
believing that he knows where the daughter is. Some of the best acting I've just ever seen in my life, and everything about this movie is fucking phenomenal.
Yep.
Can't even say anymore, it's just too good.
Yep.
And watch it if you haven't seen it.
2014.
2014, maybe, again, my favourite movie of all time. We'll say about every film on this list, but mine is Whiplash, starring Miles Teller and J.K. Simmons.
Yep.
Miles Teller's he wants to be the best drummer of all time, essentially, and J.K. Simmons is just the most aggressive teacher you could ever imagine. Pretty much just J. Jonah Jameson in a classroom. Yeah. And just this movie, when I first watched it, just absolutely blew me away. Just some of the most intense scenes ever with the acting and just how he's being forced to go to his absolute limit. And one of the best endings I've ever seen to a movie.
Yep.
Yeah.
I didn't have this as my number one. I had What We Do in the Shadows.
Yeah, I love that movie as well.
But the top three, What We Do in the Shadows, Winter Soldier, and Whiplash, could have probably been interchangeable, with probably Winter Soldier being the least. But yeah, What We Do in the Shadows, directed by Taika, movie about vampires in New Zealand.
Yeah.
It's just fucking funny. It's just a great movie.
Turned into a show.
Yeah. And then another show.
Yeah, I watched this I don't even know what it was.
We watched. I watched it because we were doing 2014 a year in review.
I think someone hired it and I watched it and I was just like, this movie's so funny. Yeah. I didn't think I even knew what it was or anything.
It's just perfect.
For New Zealand especially.
Yeah.
But I think it can definitely appeal to everybody. It's just like vampires living normal lives and just doing random shit.
But Whiplash it's probably one of my favourite movies of all time. Yeah, so it was so definitely up good. There. But I knew that you would say it, so I wanted to take a different view.
Yeah. Fair enough.
2015 was a kind of weak year for me, but I had Inside Out.
Interesting. I watched Inside Out for the first time 2 weeks ago, and it fucking blew me away.
Yeah, it's awesome, mate.
Yeah.
And it's real sad.
Really sad.
Probably one of the best Pixar movies.
Just so deep. So
that's the thing.
Deep.
It's not a normal Pixar movie.
You just feel depressed watching it, kind of.
It almost felt like they were, they usually make. It almost felt like they gave the creators of the first Pixar movies, the rights to this, and they're like, look, make it for the people that would have watched your movie when they were young. Do you know what I mean? So they've grown up to watch this.
With the whole of Pixar, it's almost evolving to that same age. Yeah. Because as the movies keep coming out, they get kind of more deep and deep every time.
Except Toy Story 4.
Yeah, but Inside Out, it was a ride. Made me look into my conscience. 2015, I had Creed starring Michael B. Jordan and Sylvester Stallone.
That was my other one.
This movie, I fucking love. Michael B. Jordan, maybe my favourite actor of all time. Sylvester Stallone. Yeah, I love Michael B. Jordan and everything he's in, especially Creed. Just I'm a big fan of body transformations in movies, and Michael B. Jordan in both Creed 1 and 2 was just insane. And the boxing in this movie, the way it's shot and everything is so realistic and just on another level than any other movie. Directed by Ryan Coogler, who went on to do Black Panther with B. Jordan as well. Just this movie is so fucking phenomenal, gets you so hyped up, and just there's so many, just a lot of, I don't even know how to say it. It's just
it's just a great movie.
All the characters, the shit the characters do along the way is just so good, and just Stallone robbed of Oscar. That's what I'll say.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. 2016.
2016. Can I remember it from memory? No, I can't. Oh, yeah, I can. Captain America: Civil War was mine for 2016.
Yeah.
One of my favourite movies of the MCU. Maybe my favourite, but I don't know. It's just so fucking good. What is yours?
Edge of 17.
Steinfeld.
Yeah.
The love of my life.
That's just a great movie. It's just a coming of age movie where the main character realizes that the whole world doesn't really revolve around them. And I had a few honorable mentions. I had Civil War.
Yeah.
I had Me Before You, which you probably wouldn't have seen.
Is that Clark?
Yeah.
Oh. Is it?
Wait, Clark.
Amelia?
Yeah, I couldn't even think of her last name for a second, but yeah. Probably the second saddest movie I've ever seen. And then Masterminds. Have you seen Masterminds?
Nope.
You have to watch it. I think you'd fucking love it.
Who's in it?
Owen Wilson, Zach Galifianakis, and I think Ed Helms.
Well,
Jason Sudeikis
I
maybe.
might have heard of it, actually.
I think it's loosely based on a true story, but basically, Owen Wilson convinces Zach Galifianakis to rob this bank, and then he keeps the money, and he says to Galifianakis, he's like, "Look, go hide out in Mexico, and we'll be in contact." And he never gets in contact, and it's just kind of like it's fucking funny. You have to watch it.
And honourable mention Suicide Squad. No, but Civil War fucking so great. Every time I watch it, just Black Panther in this movie was just the best character I've ever seen in a film. 2017,
Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah, I had Blade Runner 2049.
Yeah, still haven't seen it.
Yeah.
But Ragnarok is probably the funniest MCU movie.
Yeah.
Casting, great one. It's pretty much the original cast, but Taika does an awesome job on it. Not really much to say for it.
Definitely, I didn't care about Thor until this movie.
Yeah.
And Taika, I think, is
the saving grace of
probably wholly responsible for that.
It'd be interesting to see what happens for Love and Thunder.
Yeah, Blade Runner 2049, I don't think... It's definitely underrated because it didn't do that well when it came out, but one of the best theatre experiences I've ever had just watching a film. Just like the visuals and sound design of this movie is on another level, and I don't even really like the first Blade Runner, but this has got Ryan Gosling and Batista and it's so amazing. Just one of the best looking movies I think has ever been made, and a story that's just it's just unbelievable.
Yeah.
Great.
2018? We might have had the same one.
No. I almost had the one that I know that you have, but at the last second, not even at the last second, but...
You almost had Mamma Mia 2 as well.
Oh, actually?
No. No.
I thought, did you actually have Mamma Mia?
It's an honourable mention.
Yeah. So I'm guessing you had Infinity War?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Infinity War, I guess probably is my favourite MCU. I think between that and Civil War, they're tied.
Oh, I think Infinity War's clear.
I just fucking love Civil War, but I actually had Mission Impossible Fallout, which I think is maybe my favourite action movie of all time, and I've kind of got into the Mission Impossible franchise more since I've seen this movie, because when this came out I'd only seen Ghost Protocol and Rogue Nation, the two before it, which kind of were, like, Ghost Protocol kind of almost was a reboot, even though, like, not for the story really or anything, but just the way, like, the direction of it kind of brought just new life into the franchise. And Fallout, just the action in this movie, practical, Tom Cruise doing his own stunts, just like all of them.
It's always so great when you see that.
This is just on another fucking level, the shit he does, like jumping across buildings, flying helicopters,
and his ankle up. Yeah,
and Henry Cavill brought into the movie, fucking phenomenal. Just the action in this movie, I can't even tell you how great it is. You just have to see it for yourself, and just, fucking, it blew me away.
Yeah, honourable mentions, Mamma Mia 2.
Yeah.
And Into the Spider-Verse?
Yeah, I've never been as big on Into the Spider-Verse as everybody else. I did like it, but I don't know, just something about it really, it just didn't connect with me somehow.
Yeah.
Something about it.
Now, 2019,
I've gone back and forth so many times. This was hard for me.
I literally, you could have had so many.
Yeah.
What did you have, though?
I had Doctor Sleep.
Yep. Okay.
Which, honestly, whenever I've tried to choose a movie from this year, I always, it's gone back and forth, but I just went back to the movie that it changed my life watching, and it didn't really change my life, but just watching this in the theatre, I was just so memorable I don't know, it was like it was just an experience. Yeah. I think is the best way to describe it.
Yeah.
Just the connections, obviously, to The Shining, the original, Ewan McGregor, the visuals, and just
the score.
Yeah,
probably one of my favourite scores of all time.
And just that one scene where the main villain woman is going into Adesanya's house, but then she gets like trapped in her fucking. I don't know.
It's just insane.
I don't know how to describe it, but just that scene, and then obviously the whole third act is phenomenal with the callbacks and everything, and yeah, great movie.
Yeah. I had Jojo Rabbit.
Yeah, I love Jojo Rabbit.
Like we said, you could have had so many. You could have had Joker, Irishman, fucking Endgame, like this Peanut Butter Falcon. There's so many more.
I rewatched Joker because I always really liked it, but then I did have a lot of issues with it as well, and maybe didn't think it was quite as great as everyone else said. But I rewatched it recently, and I actually it's so good.
Yeah,
they almost kind of just went to the side, and just Joaquin's performance, obviously, and everything, just great movie.
Yeah, but like I said, there is just so many that it's hard to pick. 2020 easily the weakest year.
Obviously, there's like 2 movies even in consideration, really. What did you have?
Tenet.
I had Onward.
Is it the Pixar one?
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen it yet.
I didn't really even like
it's
any.
With Holland, eh?
Yeah. I didn't even really like any movie that came out in 2020, if I'm being honest.
That was my thing.
But Onward was just, like, I did enjoy it, and the end of it was surprisingly emotional. Actually, like, quite because the whole movie I was like, oh yeah, this is alright, but then the way they tied it all together at the end actually was like, fuck, it actually a bit of a tearjerker, surprisingly.
Yeah.
But not really one of my favourite movies, but just, I don't know, not much to choose from.
Best of a poor bunch.
Yeah.
And then you didn't do one for 2021?
Well, I mean, if I was going to say, I'd say Suicide Squad, just because it's my favourite movie I've seen this year so far, but yeah.
I think potential to overtake that is Spider-Man.
If it lives perfectly up to my unrealistic expectations.
Yeah,
but
and then what else is coming out this year?
There's
something else.
Venom. I don't know. There's no way that's good. But yeah. Do you have anything? Oh, that could be good, but I just don't think it's going to be great, you know?
Yeah.
But that is that. If you have anything else to contribute.
No. That's kind of our list.
Honestly, I love talking about my favourite movies, but I find it so hard to talk about great movies. It's like...
Because there's nothing to say about them, just because you love them so much.
You run out of describing words to talk about how great something is. You're like, oh, the action scene's fucking amazing, but also you just want people to see it. And
yeah, I guess with a big list like this, it's kind of more about just explaining, like, your favourite movies.
Leaves you almost speechless.
Yeah, it's like, good thing we don't actually have to do a review of every one of these movies. But... Yeah. Let us know in the comments what your favourite movie of all time is. Actually, no, the favourite movie that has like come out since you've been alive.
The thing is, like, I could never pick one favourite movie of all time because, like, even just this list here, I could never pick one that I like the most. I could pick one from every year, but
even then it was quite difficult.
Even just as we've done this video, I've been like, oh yeah, my favourite movie of all time for like 4 separate movies. But, yeah. This
was incredible. Coming up next, we've got our favourite movie for every year we weren't alive, starting back at 10 BC.
Yeah. Jesus' live crucifixion.
Yeah, just kidding. But yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe. Let us know in the comments what you thought. Do you want to see more stuff like this?
We could do like just
favourite song that came out for every year.
Pick a decade maybe, and just be like favourite movie. Like it doesn't really have to be where we were alive, but this was just
Yeah.
Just pick like the 80s or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And we'll catch you on the flip side. Pa 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 pa.
Peacemaker.
Peace.